Today we are driving the 2025 Acura ZDX Type S, but as always, let me give you a brief tour of the car before we get it out on the road. The ZDX is Acura's first ever electric vehicle, heavily based on the Chevrolet Blazer EV. Let's go ahead and check it out. Right off the bat, you will notice that the Acura ZDX has a very familiar but unique design. You get these crystal-like LED headlights, functional ventilation at the bottom in gloss black. The grille is going to be blocked off, but it is going to be illuminated, which looks quite nice. The grille is going to be illuminated anytime the car is on. This particular ZDX is painted in Snowfall Pearl, and personally I would get this color if I bought a ZDX. Moving around to the side, you will notice these 22-inch alloy wheels, which is the first time Acura is including 22s on one of their vehicles. You will also notice that there are yellow brake calipers, which is also an Acura first. The charge port is right here, and there is Type S branding on it, so you're just going to push it to open it up, and you can also take off that cover if you want to charge it. You will really have to push on it to close it up because otherwise it's not really going to close. The mirrors are going to be in gloss black, and you will find some brushed aluminum trim at the bottom. I think the side profile of the ZDX is a little bit funky, but I feel like most people aren't going to mind it. Also, this is the first time Acura is including a two-tone roof on one of their vehicles. It looks really nice, and I think they nailed it with the design. You will find roof rails and a panoramic sunroof on the roof. I don't love the way the ZDX looks at the rear end. The taillights are definitely inspired by the MDX, but they're just a little bit more elongated. At the bottom, you will find blocked off vents and a gloss black painted bumper. Let's go ahead and check out the cargo area next. There's a kick sensor so that you can open the trunk hands-free, but for now I'm just going to use the button. Behind the second row, there's 28.6 cubic feet of space. That isn't terrible, but considering that this is the same size as the MGX, I was expecting a little bit more. Also, there are two very large cubbies on either side, and underneath the floor, there is a lot of space. To fold down the seats, there are buttons on the left side of the trunk. You're just going to push it once, and the seat is going to go down. Just keep in mind that you cannot raise the seats from the trunk. Now let's go ahead and check out the interior. Remember how I said that this is heavily based on the Chevrolet Blazer EV? Well, that is really going to become obvious on the interior of the ZDX. The door panel has some real wood trim, a middle speaker grille, sunshades, and a good amount of storage at the bottom. You can raise up the seats very easily because they are pretty light, and they will be made of leather and suede. Inside the ZDX, I have a good amount of legroom, and the seat back is going to be in plastic. I was expecting leather on the back of the seat at $75,000, but I guess most people won't mind, and it is quite a lot easier to clean. In the middle, you will find two USB-C ports, a household-style outlet, two heated seats, a third zone of climate control, and two vents. This is a view of the back of the front cabin, and let's go ahead and check it out next. On the door panel for the front, you will find some open plywood trim, leather on your armrest, plastic at the bottom, and a good amount of storage. That button is also how you open the trunk. There's two-person memory seats on both sides, and there are Type S door sills. These seats are going to be heated, ventilated, and 16-way power adjusting. There's Type S branding in the headrest, and you get leather and suede on your seats. Let's go ahead and start it up. This steering wheel is going to be leather wrapped and heated. It is also power adjusting. The gauge cluster is very customizable and looks quite nice. You also have a full screen map if you want it. The shifter is going to be right out of a GM product. You just pull back and go up for reverse, and that'll bring up a very high resolution backup camera with a lot of different angles and a 360-degree view. This car also can park itself and unpark itself in case you are not good at both of those tasks. You also have to control the headlights through the screen, which I think is quite inconvenient. To go into park, you're just going to push the end of the stalk. For climate controls, there are going to be completely physical buttons and knobs. The knobs feel very high quality, and you also have controls for your heated and ventilated seats. Storage is quite good because of the shifter that is on the column. There's a lot of open space and a large center console. There are also two cup holders, a wireless phone charger, and a center pass-through for a purse or anything else. The infotainment system is Google-based and very responsive. Surprisingly, there is wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is not present on GM's electric vehicles. You have a few more controls right here, and you can also control the regenerative braking. This Google-based system from GM is quite good. I just wish that there was a physical button for the headlights. Up top, you'll find the digital rearview mirror, and you also have your hazard light controls. You also have your SOS controls in case you are stuck on the side of the road, and there's a large panoramic sunroof up top. But I don't know about you, I am ready to take Acura's most powerful electric vehicle out on the road. So let's go ahead and wrap up this brief tour and take the ZDX out for a spin. Alright, we are driving the 2025 Acura ZDX Type S, Acura's first ever electric vehicle heavily based on the Chevrolet Blazer EV. Basically, the whole car is not even an Acura product at all. Same with the Honda Prologue, it is pretty much a GM product. Now, I feel like Acura buyers are going to have some mixed feelings about that because there are very good points to the Blazer EV and GM in general, and there are also some bad points. Honda and Acura are very well known for their reliability, and GM isn't exactly known for having good reliability. However, there are some very good points too. The technology is absolutely amazing. Super Cruise is along with that because Super Cruise is one of the best hands-free driving assistants on the market. Also, I really like their interior designs, and the buttons and switchgear are quite nice, especially the new shifter. Now, I don't know if Acura buyers are really going to care about the switchgear. They're probably going to be like, what is this? Because this whole interior is basically a GM product. This is not the Blazer EV's interior design because we don't have the 17.7-inch display, but this is still very much GM. All of the switchgear, the screens, everything. But I am going to have to pause right there so we can see the acceleration test. That is honestly not terrible. That is actually quite good. The instant torque is amazing, and I actually haven't gone over the specs yet. This is a dual motor setup, all-wheel drive. This makes 499 horsepower, 544 pound-feet of torque, officially the most powerful Acura product in production. This has 144 more horsepower than the TLX and MGX Type S, and you can really feel that when you're really digging into the throttle. You also have regenerative braking here, so you can lift your foot off the throttle, or you can also pull the left paddle so that you can activate the regenerative braking. That is going to recharge your battery, and that will actually not use your brakes at all. So you can save some money on the brakes and you can just recharge your battery. I see that as a win-win. For some people, the one-pedal driving might be a little bit weird at first, but trust me, once you get used to it, it's really nice. The driving dynamics of the ZDX are quite good. The ride quality is pretty smooth even with the 22-inch alloy wheels, and also, the wind noise isn't too bad. Maybe not $75,000 worthy, but I feel like it wouldn't bother anyone at all. Unfortunately, we were on a time crunch on filming day, so we weren't able to test out Super Cruise. But I can say from other reliable sources that Super Cruise is probably one of the best hands-free driving assistants out there. Overall, the ZDX is a solid car. The materials on the inside could be better, and they are definitely not worth $75,000. But the driving dynamics are amazing, it looks pretty good from the front, the wheels look absolutely amazing, and the driving dynamics are really good. It's really fast, it's quite fun to drive, and I think this would be a great daily driver if you can put up with 278 miles of range. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.